Hi guys, welcome to another video. This is Edexcel Functional Skills Entry 3. I'm going to go through Set 1. So these are practice papers which I've given to my class already. If you're part of my class, you should have these and you can download them from Google Classroom. If you're not part of my class, you can download them from the link below. So this is Set 1, Section A, Non-Calculator. Just like a real exam, you would get 25 minutes. So let's go straight into it. Question 1. Amir is doing an IT course. His course is for 9 months. He pays £86 each month. Amir says the course costs more than £750 in total. Is Amir correct? Show why you think this. 2 marks. So, okay. Got a bit of space here. Right, so if it's £86 each month, let's underline this bit. This bit's important, definitely. And for 9 months, so it's definitely 9 lots of 86. So how do you do that without your calculator? You have to do 86 multiplied by 9. And hopefully, if you do multiplication, hopefully you do multiplication like this. So all the numbers at the top are going to multiply all the numbers at the bottom. Well, you've only got one number at the bottom, you've only got 9. So you always start from the right hand side as well. So 6 times 9 is 54. So you put the 4 down. Carry the 5 to the next one. 8 times 9 is 72. Plus the 5 is 77. Yep, so in fact it should be £774. What did he think? So Amir thinks it's going to cost more than £750 in total. Yeah, so yeah, 774 is more than 750. So let's say that. So 774 is more than 750. So yes, where do you tick it? Ah, yeah, here you go. Take that. There you go. So you get 1 mark for your working. You have to show this bit of working out. And I'd write a sentence as well, just to make sure, to show the person marking it that you understand it. And obviously you get 1 mark for ticking yes. Yep, it's 2 marks. You get 2 marks for that. Let's move on. Question 2. Amir has 103 days to finish a project. He works 7 days a week on the project. How many weeks and days does Amir have to finish the project? Show your working in your answer here. Ooh, look how many marks it is as well. 3 marks for this. Quite a lot of marks. And as you can see, you've got number of weeks and number of days, right? So 7 days a week and 103 days to finish a project. So basically, if you see how many 7s go into 103, that should tell us how many weeks it will be. So you're going to have to do 103 divided by 7. Yeah, and division, without the calculator, you're going to have to do the bus stop method. So hopefully, again, you should know this method as well. How many 7s go into 1 doesn't go. How many 7s go into 10 goes once. Remainder 3, that goes there. How many 7s go into 33? That's going to be 4. Remainder, this time put your remainder on the outside. Well, 4 7s are 28. The difference between 33 and 28 is 5. So it's 14 whole weeks. That's your first bit here. And whatever you've got left over, your remainder in this case, that's how many days are left over. So that's 5. That goes there. So again, you get 1 mark for showing this working out. You get 1 mark for saying 14 here, and you get another mark for saying 5 here. So there's your 3 marks. Yep. Let's move on to question 3. Amir created a mobile phone app for his project. These are the numbers of downloads for his app in April and May. Okay, so April, 328 downloads. May, 496 downloads. Calculate the total of these numbers. Again, keyword here. Total. Hopefully you should know. Total means that you add these two together. So it's the sum of 328 plus 496. Yeah, and again, you can have to do it like this. Don't forget to show this symbol as well. I've marked quite a few papers, and a lot of people forget to put this symbol. You know, you get marks for these kind of things. You know, and if you don't write what symbol it is, it just looks like you're not sure what you're doing. So you know, do put these little things. I think it does make a difference. Again, you start from the right hand side. So 8 plus 6 gives you 14. Carry the 1. 2 plus 9 is 11, plus another one is 12. Carry the 1. 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 1 is 8. There's your answer. Yep. And just leave it like that. So obviously you get 1 mark for your working, 1 for your answer. Yep, and there's your 2 marks. Obviously you guys don't write anything in this little box here. I'm just showing you guys how many marks it is in total. Let's move on to question 4. Total number of downloads in June was 976. A quarter of these downloads were in the first week of June. How many downloads were in the first week of June? 2 marks. Show your working and your answer here. So again, so we need a quarter of 976. So again, without your calculator, a couple of ways you could do it. Quarter is half and then halve it again. Or you can do it in one go. Quarter, all you do is just divide by 4. Yeah, you always divide by the denominator in this case. So 976 divided by 4 on the outside. How many 4s go into 9? Twice. Remainder 1. How many 4s go into 17? 4. Remainder 1. How many 4s go into 16? Exactly 4. So your answer, is there an answer box? No. I'm just going to give my answer like this. There you go. 2 marks. Again, 1 mark for showing this working out, your bus stop method, and another mark for your answer. And there's your 2 marks for that one. And that's section A done. Let me move on to section B. I'll do it in the same video, so yeah, just give me 2 seconds. I shall load it up on the screen. Okay, so this is section B, and obviously this one you can use your calculator now, and I definitely recommend using your calculator. Don't try to work things out yourself, please, because that's where, you know, it's very easy to get them wrong. Also, you'll notice that this is 75 minutes long, so you'll have plenty of time to read the question carefully and give your answers. So yeah, let's go straight into this one. Question 1. Amir starts a new job in an IT company. Clock shows the time he arrives at work. What is the time on the clock? 1 mark. So you'll notice there's no working out for this. All you do is just take the correct answer, and hopefully you know that. You look at the hour hand, the small one. That tells you it's not quite reached 9 o'clock yet, so it's still 8 something. And then you look at your big hand, that's pointing at the 7. So that should be 35 minutes past 8. Let's double check all these answers. Okay, so 8:35 is not there, but 8:35 is the same as, hopefully you should know, out of all of these, 25 to 9. So definitely tick that one and you should get 1 mark. Yeah, obviously if you tick any of the other ones, you know, it would be wrong, so just be careful. Question 2. Amir wants to put a speaker next to the computer screen on his desk. The arrow shows the width of the space available on the desk. Okay. The width of the screen is 540 millimeters. Width of the speaker is 8 centimeters. Will the screen and the speaker fit in the space? Show why you think there's 3 marks. So, first of all, let's find out how much space he's actually got. So the space on the desk is to do with this arrow. So where's this arrow pointing? You've got a scale here. So obviously you've got 60 and you've got 65 here. Can you see these big increments, like these big spaces? Let's count these. So from 60 to 65, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these big ones definitely going up in ones, aren't they? So that if that's 60, that must be 61. That must be 62. That must be 63, 64, 65. It works. So this is definitely 63 if you mention that. You get 1 mark already, you know, just for mentioning that's 63. That's centimeters, obviously. Let's put centimeters. Okay. They're talking about millimeters here, centimeters here as well. So I tell you what, because we've got centimeters for the desk, let's change 540 millimeters. Let's change that to centimeters. Let's do that here. Let's do the working out. So hopefully you should know there is 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. Okay, we've got 540 millimeters. You want to change to centimeters. So we're going this way. We're going from this to this. Now I look at the number. Can you see that you're going from a 10 to 1? So you're going from a big number to small. So it's definitely divide by 10. Similarly, going this way will be divide by 10 as well. So you need to divide 540 by 10. And hopefully you should know how many 10s go into that. Or you can just take away 0. It's the same thing. Should be just 54 centimeters. Again, you get a second mark just for writing this. So you know, if you put anything else, if you didn't put 54 centimeters, if you multiply by 10 instead, obviously that would be wrong. So if you're not sure whether to multiply or divide and by how much, you know, this little method does work. I think it helps a lot of people figure out whether you're multiplying or dividing and by how much as well. Yep, it's a really good way of doing it. That's that done. So altogether, so we know that the screen now, that's 54, that's fair enough, centimeters. So the screen and the speaker together, let's add them two together. So 54 plus 8 equals, again, I'm going to cheat here, naughty naughty. On the calculator I get 62 centimeters. So that's the space he needs. What space did he say he's got? This is what he's got. And this is what he needs. So yeah, he has got enough. Yep, so he needs 62 centimeters. He's got 63 centimeters to work with. So will the screen and speaker fit in the space? Yes, it will. Definitely. Yep, because he's got 1 centimeter spare. So yeah, there's your answer. So all you need to do is compare 62 with 63, and it is smaller. It will fit. Yep, so there's your 3 marks. Yeah, definitely, that's a nice question. I like that one. That's good. Hopefully you guys got the same, and if not, hopefully that made sense. Question 3. Ame needs a laptop. He chooses the laptop with the least weight. Oh, let me underline that. We need to know what that means. Which laptop does Ame choose? Right, so we've got quite a few options. So the least weight, hopefully you know, this means the lowest. Yep, so we want the lowest value. If you're not sure. Let's check all of them. And they're all different, like decimals as well. Can you see some of them have got 1 decimal place, some of them have got 2 decimal places. So I tell you what, let's add a 0 here, here. That's better. Can you see now? All of them have got 2 decimal places now. So now I can compare. Yeah, so it should be easier to see. Out of all of them, that's the lowest there, 1.77. Yeah, if you ignore the decimal point now and just look at all the numbers, 177 definitely that's the lowest one. So we have to put a tick there again. There's no working out for that. It's just 1 mark. Question 4. Ami wants to make a game app. The chart shows the numbers of downloads of different types of apps. Okay. So you got travel, business, sport, education. Number of downloads on this side. So it's saying there were 950 downloads of game apps. Amir says there were more downloads of game apps than the total downloads of sport and travel apps. Is Amir correct? Show why you think there's 3 marks. Right. So we need to combine the sport and travel apps. So that's this one and this one. Let's have a look on the graph. Right, so it's a little bit of a tricky one, but you have to figure out what these little lines actually mean. So if you're not sure, the best thing to do is, let's have a look at, can you see here from 0 to 100? Obviously the difference between them is 100. And how many little lines are there? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5 spaces. Okay, so each of these little spaces will be 100 divided by 5, which is 20. So it's going up in 20s, and you can check it. So if that's 0, that little line there is going to be 20, then 40, then 60, then 80, then 100. Yeah, it does work. So let's see what travel is. Travel is just 1 little space before 200. That's going to be 180. And sport, 2 little spaces above 700, that's going to be 740. So let's combine these two together, 740 plus 180. So 740 plus 180, let's combine them two together. And again, I'm using my calculator. That gives me 920. What did Amir think? He thought, he said that there were 950 downloads of game apps, and there were more downloads of game apps than the total downloads of sport and travel apps. So yeah, he's right again. 950 is more than 920. So yeah, we can say 950 is more than 920. Or you can use that funny little symbol. Yep, if you know what this symbol means, that means more than. It looks like a funny little crocodile eating the bigger number. Yep. So if you want to write it in words, you can write it in words. Or if you want to write it in terms of symbols and numbers, you can write it like this bottom one. It's absolutely fine. And again, I think it's a nice idea to write something like this. Obviously, tick the correct answer. But I think it's a good idea to write this as well, just to show the person marking it that, yeah, you do actually understand it. So yeah, I think it's a good idea. Question 5. Clock shows the time Amir starts work on an app in the morning. He works on the app for 3 hours and 30 minutes. What time does Amir finish work on the app? Use the correct time format. 2 marks. Right, well, the clock says, hopefully you should know, it says 10 o'clock. So we need to add, from 10 AM, we need to add 3 hours and 30 minutes, which hopefully you should know. If you do the hours first, from 10 o'clock, if you add 3 hours, that's going to give you 11, 12, 1 o'clock. That's 1 PM. Yeah. plus 30 minutes as well. So 1:30, isn't it? So that's the same as 24-hour clock. Let's do it in 24-hour clock. You can either write, in fact, you can write like this, 1:30 p.m. or you can say 13:30. Yep, whichever. So yeah, obviously you guys give just one answer, either this or this, whichever. Just make sure it's in the correct time format. That's why they've mentioned this. If you just put 1:30 on its own and don't put PM, you know, you would get marked down for that. You don't need to write PM for this one, 13:30, because you know that in 24-hour clock, we know that that's in the afternoon anyway. So we know that's PM. So just be careful with that, you know, just be careful what you actually write. Just make sure you have put the afternoon one. Question 6. Ame makes a game app. Player goes up a level in the game when they get enough points. Number of points needed follow at this pattern. Okay, so level 2, 30 points. Level 3, 45 points. Level 4, 60 points. How many points does a player have when they get to level 5? So, yeah, you just need to put your answer. In fact, you don't need to show any working out, but if you can you see the pattern here? I've seen these type of questions before. To get from 30 to 45, it's an extra 15 points. Hopefully you should know. Yeah. Similarly, from 45 to 60. Again, the difference between them is 15 points. So for level 5, it's going to be another 15 points, which is 75 points. Yeah, and if you don't know what the difference is, just take them away. Yeah, what's the difference between 45 and 30? Should be 15. What's the difference between 60 and 45? Should be 15. But you hopefully should see the pattern though. Yeah, 1 mark for that. Question 7. Game app will show a compass on the screen. In which direction does the arrow point? Well, that is north west. That's all you need to write. Yep, so if you're not sure, obviously north is at the top. This is east. That's south. That's west. Hopefully you should know that. In between, obviously you've got northwest here. You've got northeast in this corner. Southeast in that corner. Southwest in that corner. So yeah, you need to know the diagonals as well, not just the main ones. And if you're not sure about the order as well, there are little things that you can help you remember. There's a little rhyme as well to help you remember, so you can use things like never eat shredded wheat, things like that. You know, a lot of people use these funny little things to help them remember. But yeah, if you get the order wrong, then yeah, you'll probably get this question wrong as well, so just be careful. Question 8. Ame chooses a shape to show the points scored in a game. Which shape has only one line of symmetry? Tick the correct answer. Okay, so I'll tell you what, I'm going to draw the lines of symmetry to show you guys which one's which. Well, this shape has got one there, so it's not that one. This has got one there, so it's not that one. And again, don't do the diagonals for a rectangle. You can't, you know, if you fold a piece of paper from corner to corner, it's not going to fold exactly on itself. You know, you're going to get overlaps. This one, again, has got 2. This is the only one that's got one line of symmetry, so definitely this shape right here. Yeah, I can't do this from the center because it's not going to fold exactly on itself, so definitely this shape. Question 9. Ame finishes his game app. The table shows the number of downloads of the app. Okay, which month had the greatest number of downloads in Europe? Oh, so Europe is this column, and the biggest one is that one right there. So which month? Don't be tempted to put 809 as your answer. Just put November. Yep, and you'll get 1 mark if you do that. Question 10. Ame has this information about the income from his game app. Okay. Ame needs to show this information on a line graph. So just be careful. Don't get mixed up with a line graph and a bar chart. Bar chart is something different. Obviously, bar chart looks like the one with the bars, as the name suggests. Line graph, you need points for that. So you need to plot the points or the dots, and then connect the dots with the straight line. So September. Let me do it with a. I'll do it with a different color pen just to show you guys. September goes up to 12. Oh, don't forget. Yeah, in this question, it says complete the line graph and use a correct scale as well. This is very important. Use a correct scale. If you don't have a correct scale, you won't get anything. You won't get any marks at all for this question. So obviously start at 0 at the bottom. Let's have a look at these big lines. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big spaces. What's my graph go up to? So it goes up to 23. Biggest one is 23. Okay. In fact, so let me just check. I reckon best one is to use these little lines as well. I'm going to think of each of these little lines as 1 unit. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to go up in 5s, in fact. Yeah, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I know 30, I won't need 30, but let's just put it in anyway. Yeah, that's a really good scale to use. So now, September should be dead easy now. September 12, well, that's going to be 2 little lines above 10. 15 for the next one, which is exactly there. And 23, which is 2 spaces below that one, or 3 spaces above the 20, whichever, makes no difference. And then connect these with the straight line. Obviously you guys use a pencil and a ruler. There you go, should look something like this. Don't be tempted to start from the 0, 0 here. Technically we don't know what we got for this previous month, before September. What would it be? August. We don't know what we got for August. So you can't put a line from here to here, for example. Just connect the dot from the first dot that you made, so from September to October to November. Just these 2 lines. They're the only 2 lines you can draw, to be honest. Yeah, and this will give you 2 marks if you do that. Yeah, 2 marks out of 2 for that. Question 11. Players say what they think about the game app. Okay. Complete the frequency table. Show what players think. Right. So hopefully you should know that frequency means basically just how many you've got. So excellent is the only one that's missing. How many we got there? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. So if you don't get 10, maybe go to Specsavers, because you should get this right. Definitely. Just count how many. Just count how many there are. And there should be 10. Yeah. You can't afford to get something like this wrong. So yeah, definitely. This hopefully should be straightforward. Question 12. Ame checks the number of processes running on his laptop. When Ame started work, 208 processes. After 1 work, 321 processes. How many more processes were running after 1 hour than when Ame started work? So how many more processes were running after 1 hour? So basically, what's the difference between these 2 numbers? And difference we do take away. So you have to do the bigger one, take away smaller one. Let's do that on the calculator. I get 113. Is that it? 2 marks for that. That's alright. Yep. Oh, and then it says 13a says round 208 to the nearest 100. So again, you should know it's 200, but you know, if you're not sure, there's your number. Okay, that's your units or ones. Some people call it units, some people call it ones. There's your tens column. There's your 100 columns. Your 100 column, you look at that one, and the one before it, that one decides. This is the decider. This decides what happens to the 2. So because this is less than 5, the 2 stays the same, and you just fill in the blanks and you get 200 as your answer. Yeah, so 1 mark for that. Use the rounded number to check your answer to question 12. Ooh, right, so use the rounded number, basically the 200 that you got, to check your answer, right, to question 12. Well, question 12 was this one to do with the processes. So instead of 208, you could use 200 instead. And obviously you're not going to get 113, you're going to get something different. But you want to get close to 113 for your answer. Or if you're working backwards, you could get close to 321. Yeah, that's the idea behind it. So there's a couple of solutions. I'll do it 2 different ways. I'll tell you what, I'll split in half. 2 different ways of doing this. I can do it the normal way. The normal way is, you know, I could have done 321, take away 200 instead. So 321, take away 200. Yep, which is 121. Okay, and then you can say 121 is pretty close to 113. So 121 is close to 113. So there's your check. You know that you're checking whether you're getting close to the answer, and you have, you know, if you got a strange answer like, I don't know, 435, that's nowhere near the original that they're talking about. So that's one way of doing it. Another way you could have done it is, usually, you know, when it says check your answer or show a check, what you normally do is you do the opposite or the reverse of what you originally did. So the opposite of takeaway is add. So you have to start with your answer, 113 in this case, and add, and instead of adding 208, we're going to add our rounded answer, 200, and that gives us 313, which again is pretty close to the other number they were talking about, this one here, 321. So again, you can say 313 is close to 321. Yeah, so you could do it this way. This is one way of doing it. Or you could do it this way. There's 2 different ways. There's 2 different solutions for this question right here. Whichever way you choose it, you will get 1 mark for that. But a lot of people did struggle with this question when I was marking it in the class the other day. You know, just be careful and just read the question carefully. You have to use your rounded answer, basically the 200, which I think pretty much everyone did get 200. But then I don't know what actually happened here. You know, a lot of people doing loads of weird things. Don't forget, show a check just means you're checking the answer is correct. Yeah, and there's several ways you can do that. You can do it the same way again for entry 3. You can actually do that. So this one here, solution 1, you can actually do that. You can do the same again. Or usually, for functional skills, we usually do the reverse or the opposite of what you just did. Okay, so a reverse calculation, instead of taking away, you would be adding instead. Question 14. Amir wants something to drink. He can choose 1 bottle or 2 cans. Right, so bottle is half a litre. Cans are 330 milliliters each. Right. Does the bottle have more drink than the 2 cans? Show why you think this. Oh, this is a good question. Again, you need to know how many milliliters are in 1 litre. I think a lot of people did struggle with this. So, this is something you definitely need to know. You need to know 1 litre is equal to 1,000 milliliters. Yeah, if you're not sure, do make a note of this. This is really important. Yeah, that's one of the facts that you need to know, definitely. So half a litre is going to be half of this. So what is half of that? If you divide by 2, that's going to be 500, isn't it? So the bottle, you have to mention that the bottle is 500 milliliters. You get 1 mark for doing that. And the 2 cans together, so in fact that's the bottle, 2 cans equal 330 plus 330, which is, you should know hopefully, 660 milliliters. So what do they think? They think the bottle, does the bottle have more drink than the 2 cans? No, it's got less. So 500 is less than 660. So no. There's your answer. Yep, so they're wrong. 2 marks for that. But this is essential. This is definitely essential. You need to know that. Well, let's move on to the next question. Question 15. Ame has £75 to buy new software. He spends £48.90 on the software. How much money does he have left over? So use the correct money format. So yeah, they've said this on purpose because you know, a lot of people do write it incorrectly. Just be careful because you're talking about money. You know, it's not just a matter of just using your calculator, because if you do put this in your calculator, let's see what we get. In fact, 75 take away 48.90. Okay, and obviously if you get a fraction on your calculator, scientific calculator I'm using, don't forget to press SD button to get it as a decimal, which looks like this on my calculator. And so far we've got 2 marks. For your third mark, obviously you need a pound sign, and also you need 0 on the end here as well. Don't forget, anything to do with money has to be to 2 decimal places. There's your 3 marks right there. Question 16, round £48.90 to the nearest pound. So again, let me just rewrite. This is our number. Let me do the dotted line. So if it's to the nearest pound, or nearest whole number, basically, these are my pounds right here. There's my dotted line. This is going to decide what happens. So because the 9 is more than 5, that makes the 8 go up to a 9. 4 stays the same. And that is your answer, £49. Yeah, if you're not sure, you can do a number line as well. Which one is it closer to? Is it closer to £48 or is it closer to £49? And you should see it's closer to 49. But yeah, don't spend ages on something like this. It's only 1 mark. That's your answer. Oh, that was the last one. So yeah, I hope you found that useful. I'll try and do the other ones when I get time. I'm just very busy these days. Yeah, apologies for the delay for this, but hopefully that is some help for you. If there's anything else, you know, do leave comments in the comments below. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like it, and don't forget to tell all your friends about it. Yeah, tell all your colleagues, tell all your classmates. Okay, thank you. See you in the next one.